Perfect Turd Podcast, episode 323, Lamar, Mauler.
Well, Joe, this time we have a bunch of dumb kids trying to get into a house with a person with a heavy, I don't even know what to say. He has a hammer and he likes
Yeah.
Jesus. So, yeah.
Yep. Well, that sums it up, kind of, Lamar. So, the categories on which we're going to rate this movie, Lamar, we're going to go
Yes.
by the story, the
Yep.
characters, the
Mm-hmm.
killer,
Mm-hmm.
the kills themselves, and the special effects. And our last one will be sequel potential.
Mm-hmm.
Are we ready, sir?
I am.
First category. What did we think of the story?
Well, Joe, life is not fair. We have a young boy, if I can remember, Lucas, I think his name, and man, he lives with some messed up. Well, his dad is messed up. I think he's
Yeah.
an alcoholic, and he basically hears his dad killing his mom.
Yeah.
And so he goes to get a hammer, and he actually kills his dad, but it wasn't, soon enough. His dad ends up choking him out. And who was the woman
They said
that
his
got killed?
grandmother, but I don't think it was his grandmother, was it?
Yeah, it's a woman who doesn't like either of them
Yeah.
takes him in and pretty much makes him a religious fanatic,
Right.
which leads to 20 years later, he keeps the hammer and some stupid kids decide to try to break into the house for some challenge on the internet,
Yeah.
and he pretty much hunts them down.
The overall premise of it I thought was pretty good.
Agreed.
Just the annoying teenagers trying to get into the
We'll
house
talk about
it was
that.
so long-winded with them like talking about like getting in there, and it was like they spent more time talking about getting in there than actually getting in there.
Yeah, yeah. We don't want to give it away too much when we talk about characters, but let's just say these kids don't know nothing, Joe. It's just,
Yeah.
dear God,
Well,
man.
all the kids don't know nothing, Lamar. They're terrible, even when they're teenage kids like this.
But I thought they were 20 or
Were
something like
they?
that. But they were older.
Mm.
So they were like, what do you call them? Millennials, Gen Y, whatever.
Utes.
Like, Utes,
Yeah.
whatever.
Well, what do
Yeah.
you give it for story?
I give it a half a point.
Yeah, half point. It's all right. Our next category of the bar is what do we think of the characters in the movie?
Yeah, Joe, off, stream, we talk about things and we talk about, the doom we feel for the future. And that's rooted in the younger generation. And this movie shows it with these characters because they are the dumbest characters, like, I think we've ever seen, Joe.
They're pretty
Are they some of the
dumb.
dumb? Yeah, they have this challenge they're trying to do. They try to get into the house. It takes them like 20 minutes. They lose the keys to get into the house. They don't know how to organize. They can't jump one person.
Yeah. And they
They're
can't call
terrible.
when things start going bad, they can't call the cops because they don't want to get arrested because they have a record, I guess, or
I
whatever.
guess so, Joe. Yeah.
Yeah. And then one girl's pregnant, she reveals, and that's a whole new drama. Well, Labar, the kids in this movie are awful. I hate young people, but these young people were exceptionally bad. However, there was one character in this movie that might be one of the greatest characters in any movie review, the security guard. That guy was great, Lamar. He
He,
can.
I will say he was like, okay, let's just say it. He was very goofy.
Yeah, he was great. He was a karate expert.
Oh, was he, Joe? He saw a lot of karate movies. Let's just say that. But
Well,
yeah, he
no, the
was
karate
funny.
was serving him well, Lamar. He was
Oh my
doing pretty
God.
good. That was one of the best fight scenes I've ever seen. And
And that's the crazy part because I feel like if they would have followed his tone,
yeah,
this movie would have been better. But for some reason, they made it serious all the way up to his point.
it had some elements of humor here and there. Mm,
But he was funny, though,
yeah.
I will say. Yeah.
Well, I'm going to give it a half point for him. He saved it for me.
I'll give him a half point. Yeah.
Well, our next category, Lamar, is how do we rate the killer?
he's like a religious fanatic because
Yeah,
his grandma put it in his head that these sinners need to be taken out. Sometimes you have to do the devil's work to
yeah,
serve God and everything like that. He's huge,
yeah. It's a big guy.
big guy, big young dude. He has a mallet and everything like
That
that.
that was a funny part of the fight scene where he like literally like they stopped the fight so he could take his shirt off and his
Like this was in the 90s or
yeah.
something like that. Like, yeah, I liked him as a character, which I think we'll talk about this in Kills. I wish they did more with him.
He could have done more with him. And in his
Yeah,
defense, he was kind of minding his own business. They kind of they came into his space, honestly.
that's true. He was on his property and everything. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, I like him as a killer. Like, I thought it was good. Like like you said, he was imposing looking and stuff.
Hmm?
I don't know. What are you giving it for killer?
I give it a one.
Yeah, 1 point's good. For our next category, Lamar, is what do we think of the kills and the special effects?
Here's the thing, Joe. He has this big sledgehammer. I like how I call it something new every single time I talk about it. But they didn't have him do too much with it. He didn't like kill too many people with it. Like
Yeah,
or torture people with it and stuff like that. So the kills were okay. Sometimes they would just cut away and stuff. But I was like,
yeah.
it
They did a
was
lot
all
of the
right.
cutaway. There was
Yeah.
some someone with a box cutter or something.
Yeah, but
He
if he has a sledgehammer,
There was a funny little foreshadow in the movie because the girl was like, "What if we go in there and he home alones us?" And then later on in the movie, the guy's like climbing up to the roof and he puts his hand on a nail that was, I assume, purposely sticking up. So I
no.
thought that was
Yeah.
kind of funny. It wasn't a
Oh
kill, but it
no.
was a funny little gore scene, I guess.
We needed more, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm. I won't give it a 0 because they did do stuff. I'll give it a half point.
Same thing.
Well, Lamar, our last category is sequel potential.
I think they just have to do improvements. Like
Yeah,
have him beat the living crap out of people. Have the one effect where you just have the sledgehammer coming down and making someone's head explode.
yeah,
Or cracking bones and all that kind of stuff. You need that.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I guess the real problem here is the movie's called Mauler. He doesn't really maul anybody. you know? Like, what if they made the movie like, okay, they arrest him from the actions in this movie, and he gets sent to a prison, and he has to like fight in illegal, prison fights, and he actually mauls people.
Yes. Yes. That makes sense. Yes.
Or what if like the US government realizes his potential as a killer and they take him and they like send him to war somewhere and he just like mauls the enemy.
He gets to get the sledgehammer back. He'll just
Yeah.
be knocking people out like Mario with the hammer and stuff like
Yeah.
that, just going around.
Yeah, cuz
Eh,
he's a big dude. Like you could do
he
stuff
is
with
big.
him. And Mauler, it's kind of generic, but it explains the character. So,
Yeah.
what are you giving it for sequel potential?
Half a point.
Half point? Yeah, I'll give it a half point. I do want to see a
Yeah.
sequel. Well, Lamar, we've tallied the score, and this movie gets a 3 out of 5.
There's something here in
Yeah,
this. It's just that they didn't exploit it enough. They needed more, like I said, bone snapping with the sledgehammer,
yeah.
coming down on people's heads. Maybe he even throws it at somebody. Like you said, it's called Mauler. Maul people.
yeah.
Yeah.
What if they go back in time, Lamar, to the 90s when malls were really popular, and he's just a guy that kills people in malls, and that's
I
why
would
it's
watch
called
that.
Mauler.
He like hides up and he still has the sledgehammer and
Yeah,
stuff like that, and like some kids break in just to chill out, and then he's killing them.
yeah.
I'd watch it.
Like a double meaning, even though it's
Yeah,
spelled differently.
we didn't. Nobody cares. You could actually make that movie too,
yeah,
because like there's a lot of malls that are kind of like shutting down, unfortunately.
yeah.
Just
Yeah, it'd be great. We'll call it, spell it like Mauler, like Maller, like it's in a mall, but he kills people and he mauls them in the mall.
This was Mauler too.
Yeah. Well, Lamar, as I
Mm-hmm.
wrap it up then,
It does.
peace.
Deuces.